Well, joining us now is Ashford Jackman, and he has to tell us about some controversy in football, Ashford.
Yes, Debbie, we haven't had that for some time. It had to come. Good evening, everybody, by the way. It all happened at Presentation College in Chaguanas this afternoon. The first of the quarterfinals in the Coca-Cola Big 8 competition. And we'll have the information on that and highlights of yesterday's Intercol final as well.
Ashford will return in a moment.
Shopping this year.
Mrs. Claus demanded, so she spun her golden bargain wheel, which pointed her to Standard. She rode her sleigh all through the night, dreaming of discounts huge, and to her surprise, when she arrived, there was the cousin of Scrooge.
Welcome to our golden buys on our 50th anniversary. Get the very best brands at the very best price with exciting gifts for free.
Standard's got great value like I've never seen before.
And interest-free credit for 1 whole year will make you want much more.
Oh, I'm so thrilled,
said Mrs. Claus.
My buying just can't stop. Standard savings are so much bigger than the stores where Santa shops.
Just when she thought she'd seen it all, something else made her applaud.
You can win this to take you home. It's the Golden Honda Accord.
Thanks a million, dear old friend. I'm happy beyond measure. Now I've shopped at Standard. It's our best Christmas ever.
And we start with that news of secondary schools football as scuffles broke out on the field today following the Coca-Cola Big 8 match between Presentation of Chaguanas and Arima Senior Comprehensive. The match was played at Presentation. Referee Hasid Mohammed reportedly blew off the game even as Earl Haynes' shot was going into the Presentation, into the Arima goal. Had the whistle not sounded at that time, it would have forced the match into sudden death extra time, as it finished with Arima leading by 2-1. Haynes had scored in the first half for Presentation, but substitute Garth Williams drew Arima level. Then he was ejected from the game. Arima finished with just 10 men. Siobhan Hemley scored from a free kick, giving them the lead with just 2 minutes left of normal time. But then followed Haynes' second effort, which was going in when the whistle sounded, signaling the end and victory for Arima. We don't know if there will be an investigation into the finish of that game. Well, the Big 8 continues on Saturday afternoon with St. Augustine entertaining Princestown. It is a game which will be played at 3:45 at St. Augustine. Signal Hill, the new Intercol champions, meanwhile, have a bye into the semi-finals, where they could meet St. Benedict's College once again. Well, St. Benedict's would no doubt relish a crack at them, a second attempt, as the Tobago champs had survived tremendous pressure yesterday to score an unlikely win in the Intercol final. From the solitary run by Bert Burris, Signal Hill found themselves on the defensive for most of the first half. Twice St. Benedict's were close. Skipper Glasgow's volley was tipped over bar by Ron Alfred. Then Signal Hill's inadequate 3-man wall left room for Rinaldo Acevero, but his free kick was too close to the keeper. Early in the second half, Keita Placid played Kurt Spencer through, but Alfred made a very good block and yet recovered to beat out the follow-up volley from Placid. Outplayed for long periods, Signal Hill sent Kevin Nelson free. He beat the sweeper, Andre Cooper, for pace, but his shot was wide. Signal Hill now abandoned the offside trap that had frustrated St. Benedict's. 15 minutes left when Issa Al-Razi dispossessed Neil Lewis. Somehow the midfielder missed the chance to win it for the Southerners. Goalless after regulation time, goalless in the first period of sudden death. But soon after the changeover, Signal Hill won a free kick and Lewis found the head of Burris with Ricardo Johnson caught miles out of his goal. An ironic end to a bizarre final. Johnson had been a spectator for most of the 94 minutes. One mistake and it was all over. Bert Burris had outleapt the defense and headed down into the open goal, giving Signal Hill their 5th Coca-Cola Intercol title. While out of the picture, disconsolate St. Benedict's players wept in sheer disbelief. Football is indeed a strange game. And the Caribbean Major League competition continues tonight at PSA Center. The first game should be underway at this time. The finals will take place on Sunday afternoon, also at PSA. In cricket, Trinidad and Tobago take on the Leeward Islands tomorrow in Game 1 of their 2-match Shell Sandals series at the Queen's Park Oval. Having shared the points in their opening matches 2 weeks ago against Guyana, they must now get at least one victory on the weekend to stand a chance of reaching the last 4. Well, batsman Richard Smith comes in for paceman Nigel Francis, but the Trinidad and Tobago team is otherwise unchanged. Of course, Brian Lara will lead the side, which includes Phil Simmons, Ian Bishop and Rajendra Danraj. The Leewards are also at full strength, with the likes of Richardson, Ambrose, Atherton, Stuart Williams and Kenny Benjamin in the team. Well, play starts at 9:30 in the morning, and Barbados, meanwhile, will be playing the Windwards in their group game at the park in Castries, St. Lucia. In other cricket news, Steve Waugh scored his 9th Test 100 today as Australia took the upper hand in the opening test against Pakistan in Brisbane. Waugh struck an unbeaten 112 as the Aussies amassed 463 all out. They were in fact 385 for 4 when they lost their last 6 wickets for just 78 runs. And by the close of the second day, Pakistan were reduced to 40 for the loss of 3 wickets. They need 265 to avoid the follow-on. Well, TDT's NBA coverage will continue tonight. You can look out for that. Now here's a look at 3 of last season's leading teams in action: the Knicks, the Pacers and the Bulls, the latter who were without the injured Dennis Rodman for their game last evening at Cleveland.
This is Rodman's replacement, Dickie Simpkins, in the starting lineup tonight in Cleveland, where the Cavs jumped in front early in the second half. Then Scottie Pippen rolled off a screen, dished to Simpkins off the weak side to tie the game. But the Cavs dug in on defense. Pippen blocked from behind. And that little Cleveland lineup played basketball on the run. Bobby Phills to rookie Bob Sura. Cleveland led again. But Chicago got it together, and when Pippen put the hesitation move on, soared to the hoop, it capped an 8-0 burst late in the quarter that shot the Bulls in front by 5. And from there, Michael Jordan did the rest. Shot clock melting down, he drains the fall away at the buzzer. Jordan overcame a sloppy first half, pouring in 23 of his game-high 29 in the second half, while Dickie Simpkins filled in admirably for Rodman, and the Bulls zipped to 4-0.
Madison Square Garden, and this is the way it went. John Starks, Mr. Reggie Miller, you're a very unpleasant person. I don't care for you. Or something to that effect. Reggie waves by. But look at this. It was the Knicks taking over the third. Charles Smith outside knocks it down. Broken nose at all. He had a nose for the hoop tonight. 21 off the bench for Charles. Larry Brown fit to be tied. We'll see more of him later. Starks with a nice D. Starts some fast breaks. Gets it back from the harp and lays it in. Knicks leading it by 12. Later in the fourth, here we go. Ballistic time. Larry Brown upset over the calls. Remember, these are replacement refs. Gets tossed once. And Don Nelson loves it. And then, does he get tossed once? Well, no. He gets tossed twice. And then 3 times. 4, 5, how about 6? 6, sure, 7. He's not going to coach another game this season. No, he's out for this one, that's for sure. The Knicks win at 103-95. Brown was gone. Harper was in there. He had 22, topping New York in scoring, but Patrick Ewing chipped in with 21 points and 14 rebounds.
Tonight's game on TDT, the Orlando Magic against the Boston Celtics. Quickly now in cycling, the Tour of San Fernando Classic got underway this evening in the southern city. It continues Saturday and Sunday. And the top 3-year-olds will contest the SIS Tobago Derby Stakes when racing resumes tomorrow at Santa Rosa Park in Arima. Its co-feature will be the Mount Irving Bay Hotel Cocorico Stakes for nominated 2-year-olds. There are 8 local races and 5 simulcasts from the United States on the program. And just a reminder that the powerlifting competition starts at 1 o'clock at City Hall tomorrow. Darren Charles, Lydia Seeley, Lawrence Marshall, all of them involved in that one. That is your sports report.